Hello everybody and welcome to another Sage Advice. I'm your host Saigan. Today we're going to be looking at metal slimes and the first place that you can get a little bit of level grinding off of them. So, we are currently outside the Quarantomb. You will gain access to the Quarantomb shortly after reaching the town of Coffinwell. It is the first place where you can access metal slimes, and they are actually really easy to come across in here. Nope. I am supposed to be guarding you, but I'm also doing a tutorial video on metal slimes, so you're just gonna have to wait, Doctor. Now, there's a number of different ways that you can go about trying to get metal slimes to spawn. Personally, I like to go over to the left-hand side of the map and do laps around these far left pathways, and I'll show you the course that I take. Oh, I actually haven't hit this yet. And it's really easy to avoid all the other enemies in here, and basically you'll just do laps until a metal slime shows up, and usually I get one per lap. When I first got in here I bumped into 3 in a row, which is amazing luck. I wish I would have that kind of luck on my DS while I'm grinding levels. But that was not the case. There's one now. These little guys have between 3 and 5 hit points. They're very prone to running away. This one's probably gonna get out of here. They rarely stick around for more than one turn, and he got a surprise attack on us. There's a number of different abilities that you can use to make taking these down earlier. The first and foremost are the metal attacks, which swords have metal slash and boomerangs have something similar that's guaranteed to usually hit for 1 to 2 damage. Most regular attacks are going to miss. Metal Slash is still only going to do a small amount of damage, not as much as a critical hit. Let's see if we can get him. Oh good, he's sticking around. The good news is, since metal slimes don't have many hit points, and damage increases based on attacks hitting back to back, it becomes very easy to finish off these metal slimes in just one round of combat, especially if you did what I did, which is I've got the entire team using swords. But there are options for the other weapon trees. For early on in the game, for these metal slimes, the metal slash off of the sword tree, or whatever the metal attack is off of boomerangs, works really well because they have such little health. But other attacks that are useful are multi-thrust in the lance tree, multi-fists with the unarmed skill. Any attacks like that, which will hit several times, gives you a good chance of landing 1 or 2 damage on the metal slimes. The other options are the attacks that have a chance of critical hitting or missing instead. Thunder Thrust for the lance is the first one that comes to mind. That one's about a 50-50 chance, but if you do hit, then it's a guaranteed critical and it'll knock out the slime right away. So if you have your entire team focused on one of these metal slaying abilities, it makes it much easier to take one down. Look at all the experience points that we got. Well over 4,000 spread across the entire party. And these guys are going to be good to pretty swiftly get your level anywhere between 15 and 20. Later on in the game, there are some better places to find higher level metal slimes, naturally. But for early on in the game, this place is just fantastic, especially if you came here with the correct weapon skills. Assuming you were expecting to fight metal slimes. If you were not planning on fighting metal slimes, odds are you still probably have a good chance of finishing them off, especially these early ones, since they just have so little hit points. Focus on getting, again, the metal attacks, the multiple hit attacks, and the critical hit attacks. Look at all those levels. So that is basic metal slime hunting 101. That is such a glorious noise to hear over and over and over again. I will cover fighting metal medleys in another video. See if we can find another one real quick, just to show you how frequently they do show up. Oh, that's not where I'm going. Metal medleys are going to show up in the Bad Cave. It's in... Once you get to Bloomingdale, that's when the next slimes will show up. But you can be pretty good on your leveling just here. Oh, there he is. So, there's another one. Sometimes they will show up with other enemies. He's probably going to run away. I don't think I'm going to be lucky to catch two of them on video. Oh, no, he's sticking around too. Some of you may be wondering, well, is it actually worth the time to go looking for these guys instead of just grinding off of regular enemies? The answer is a huge yes. Most enemies are only going to give somewhere between 30 and 50 experience points to each character, and they take longer to fight. Earthen Warriors out of the way. See, that hardly affected our experience points at all. Looks like everybody got maybe 20 to 30 experience points more off of that Earthen Warrior. So, it's definitely worth your time. Use these guys to get up to somewhere between level 15 and 20. But you can certainly go further than that. Just don't go too long. It'll hit a point where most of the enemies won't even be a threat. And once you get to Bloomingdale, there will be metal medleys, and they give even more experience points. They give more than double what these little basic metal slimes give. Alright. That was a nice short video. Hopefully that's helping some of you newer players to the Dragon Quest series figure out how to deal with those annoying little metal slimes, and hopefully you can start leveling up much, much faster. Okay, everybody have some happy gaming and happy slime hunting.